Leo Rossi could tell the temperature of a pan just by holding his hand 3 inches above it. For 30 years, he had run Rossi's, a corner Italian joint in South Philadelphia that smelled of garlic, roasted peppers, and history. It wasn't Michelin-starred. It was better. It was the kind of place where the mayor ate next to the garbage collector, and both got the same size meatball. But passion doesn't pay the rising property taxes. Passion doesn't fix the 50-year-old HVAC system. And passion certainly doesn't pay for his father's nursing home bills. Leo was drowning. The margins on fresh veal and San Marzano tomatoes were razor thin. That's when Carter Sterling walked in. Carter didn't look like he ate pasta. He looked like he ate kale smoothies and spreadsheets. He was 29, wearing a Patagonia vest over a crisp dress shirt, and he represented Apex Food Ventures. "We don't want to change Rossi's," Carter said, flashing a smile that was whiter than the tablecloths. "We want to scale it. We want to bring Leo's Sunday gravy to the digital age. We buy the building, pay off your debts, and you stay on as executive brand ambassador. You keep cooking, we handle the logistics." It sounded like a lifeline. "I keep control of the kitchen?" Leo asked, wiping his hands on his apron. "Absolutely," Carter lied. "The kitchen is your kingdom, chef. We just want to upgrade the castle." Leo looked at his sous chef, Sam, a tattooed kid with a good heart, but a cynicism about corporate suits. Sam shook his head, no. But Leo looked at the stack of unpaid invoices in the office. He signed the contract. He sold the soul of South Philly for $1.2 million and a promise. The transition happened fast, too fast. 3 days after the ink dried, a team of optimization specialists arrived. They didn't bring knives, they brought tablets. "Chef," said Jessica, a 24-year-old with a clipboard, "we're pivoting the inventory strategy." Leo was chopping basil. "What does that mean?" "It means fresh basil is inefficient. It wilts. It has a 20% waste margin. We're switching to Cisco Liquid Herb Compound number 4. Leo stopped chopping. "Liquid herb compound? Are you joking?" "It's data-driven, Leo." Carter walked in, tapping on his phone. "Blind taste tests show that the average DoorDash customer can't tell the difference after the food sits in a cardboard box for 30 minutes. We are optimizing for delivery, not dining." "But people come here to dine," Leo argued. "Not anymore," Carter pointed to the front of the house. Work crews were boarding up the windows. They were removing the tables. They were tearing out the mahogany bar. "What are you doing?" Leo screamed. "We're converting the dining room into fulfillment stations," Carter said calmly. "Rent per square foot for dining is a loss. We are turning Rossi's into a ghost kitchen hub. This kitchen won't just cook Italian, it will cook for 5 different virtual brands simultaneously." He pulled up a slide on his iPad. Brand 1, Nona's Italian, the Rossi menu but cheaper. Brand 2, Atomic Wings, frozen wings, deep fried. Brand 3, Mr. Beast Burger clone, generic burgers. Brand 4, Tokyo Bowl, microwaved rice. Brand 5, Vegan Vibes, frozen soy patties. "All coming out of my ovens?" Leo whispered, horrified. "It's the future, Leo. Volume, velocity. We project 4,000 orders a day." "I quit," Leo said, untying his apron. "I'm not serving garbage." "You can't quit," Carter smiled. "Read your contract. You have a 2-year non-compete. You can't work in any kitchen in Philadelphia. And if you leave, you forfeit the remaining payout. You're the brand face, Leo. We need your smiling mug on the website while we sell the microwave sludge." Leo looked at the kitchen he had built. It was being dismantled. They were installing rows of industrial microwaves. He realized he hadn't saved his restaurant. He had sold it to a factory. 6 months later, Leo sat in the office, a broom closet, watching the kitchen. It was hell. The smell of garlic was gone, replaced by the smell of burnt fryer oil and despair. The cooks weren't chefs, they were assembly workers. They grabbed bags of frozen food, boiled them, and shoved them into bags labeled for different fake restaurants. Tablets lined the wall, pinging constantly. Uber Eats, 4 atomic wings. Grubhub, 2 vegan bowls. DoorDash, 1 Nona's lasagna. The lasagna was a frozen brick from a warehouse in New Jersey. They just heated it up. Leo's name was on the box. Chef Leo's authentic recipe. It made him sick. Carter visited once a week to check the throughput metrics. "Numbers are up, Leo." Carter cheered, slapping him on the back. "We're crushing it. The algorithm loves us. We have a 4.2-star rating on Uber Eats. That's the sweet spot. High enough to get orders, low enough that we don't have to spend money on quality." "The rats are back," Leo muttered. "What?" "The garbage out back. With this volume, the dumpsters are overflowing. I saw rats." "Call the exterminator." Carter waved his hand. "Cost of doing business. Just keep the orders moving. We have a big Super Bowl promo coming up. The touchdown platter. We need to push 5,000 units. Leo looked at the exhausted workers. They were underpaid, overworked, and didn't care about the food. He looked at Sam, his old sous chef, who had stayed because he needed the job. Sam looked dead inside. Leo walked out to the alleyway to smoke a cigarette. He looked at the overflowing dumpsters. He looked at the line of delivery drivers on scooters waiting to pick up the slop. He realized something. Carter didn't care about food. He cared about the platform. He cared about the app. And if you live by the app, you can die by the app. Leo took out his phone. He called his nephew Vinny. Vinny wasn't a cook. Vinny was a growth hacker. A kid who knew how search engines and delivery algorithms worked. "Vinny," Leo said, "I need to know how to break a ghost kitchen." Leo couldn't cook. The non-compete clause forbade it, but the contract said nothing about delivering. Leo formulated a plan. He needed to destroy 3 things: the reputation, the logistics, the algorithm. He started with the reputation. Vinny set up a network of bot accounts, but not to leave 1-star reviews. That would be flagged as spam. No, they left 5-star reviews. "Best sushi in Philly. Tastes exactly like the lasagna." The wings had a lovely hint of fish oil. Unique. Vegan bowl had a piece of bacon in it. A fun surprise. 5 stars. The algorithm was confused. The keywords fish, bacon, and lasagna were now being associated with the wrong brands. The AI started recommending the vegan bowl to meat lovers and the sushi to Italian lovers. Returns and complaints skyrocketed. Carter didn't notice. He just saw the 5 stars and thought he was winning. Next, the logistics. Leo knew the kitchen's weak point, the pickup window. It was a single, narrow alleyway. If the drivers couldn't get to the window, the food went cold. If the food went cold, the refunds killed the margin. Leo needed a blockade, but a legal one. Super Bowl Sunday. The Eagles were playing. This was the day Carter had bet everything on. He had pre-ordered $50,000 worth of frozen wings. Leo arrived at the kitchen at 8 a.m. "Big day, team." Carter was there, wearing an Eagles jersey, tag still on. "We need speed. No breaks until halftime." Leo nodded. He walked over to Sam. "Is it set?" Leo whispered. "It's set," Sam winked. Step 1, the glitch. Vinny, working remotely, executed a script on the kitchen's order management tablet. He didn't hack the code, he just exploited a feature. He set the prep time for every order to 1 minute. Usually it was set to 20 minutes. This told the drivers when to arrive. By setting it to 1 minute, the apps, Uber, DoorDash, immediately dispatched drivers the second an order was placed. Step 2, the honeypot. At 4 p.m., 2 hours before kickoff, a massive truck pulled up and parked legally in the loading zone directly in front of the alleyway. It was a food truck, but it wasn't selling anything. The sign read, "Free authentic Philly cheesesteaks for delivery drivers." Leo had hired his cousin to run the truck. They were grilling real ribeye steak, onions, and provolone. The smell wafted down the street. It was intoxicating. Step 3. The gridlock. At 4:30 p.m., the orders started flooding in. Thousands of orders for wings. Because of the 1-minute prep glitch, 500 delivery drivers arrived simultaneously on scooters and bikes. They found the alleyway blocked by the crowd of drivers eating free cheesesteaks. The drivers, tired and hungry, smelled the real food. They stopped. They parked their bikes. They got in line for the free steak. "What is happening?" Carter screamed, looking at the security monitors. "Why aren't they picking up the orders? The food is piling up." The kitchen counters were overflowing with bags of cooling wings. The drivers were outside, eating steak and laughing. "Move!" Carter yelled, running outside. "Move your bikes! Pick up the orders!" "Relax, bro," a driver said, chewing a steak. "App says order isn't ready. We're on break." Inside the kitchen, chaos reigned. With no orders leaving, the bags were stacked everywhere. On the floor, on the counters, near the trash. The temperature in the kitchen rose. The smell of 5,000 cooling chicken wings mixed with the garbage was horrific. And then, step 4. Leo walked into the office where Carter was hyperventilating. "Carter," Leo said, "I think we have a problem with the plumbing." "Not now, Leo. I think you should look." Leo had instructed Sam to loosen the valve on the grease trap under the main sink. Just a little. The pressure of the Super Bowl dishwashing load did the rest. Boom! The grease trap exploded. Black, foul-smelling sludge flooded the floor of the kitchen. It mixed with the stacked bags of food. "Oh my God! Ugh!" Carter gagged. "Stop cooking! Clean it up!" "We can't stop," Leo said, pointing to the tablets. "The orders are auto-accepting. If we cancel, the platform fines us." "Cook through it!" Carter screamed. "Just don't let the food touch the floor." That was the moment Leo was waiting for. "Cook through sewage?" Leo asked loudly. "You want us to serve food while standing in sewage?" "I said do it!" Carter yelled. Leo pulled out his phone. He wasn't recording a video. He was on a FaceTime call. "Did you hear that, Inspector?" Leo turned the phone around. On the screen was Inspector Davis, the toughest health inspector in Philadelphia. Leo had called him an hour ago with an anonymous tip. "I heard it, Mr. Sterling," Davis said through the phone. "I'm outside with the police. Open the door." The back door burst open. Inspector Davis walked in, wearing rubber boots. He was followed by 2 officers and a local news crew. Vinny's doing. The scene was apocalyptic. Sludge on the floor. Bags of food piled in unsanitary zones. Cooks slipping in grease. Carter screaming at employees. And the smell. The smell was enough to peel paint. "Shut it down," Davis ordered. "Immediate revocation of license. This is a biohazard." "You can't do this," Carter shrieked, slipping on a piece of pepperoni. "It's Super Bowl Sunday. We have $50,000 in revenue pending." "You have sewage in the prep area," Davis noted, snapping photos. "And are those generic frozen patties in a box labeled Organic Farm Fresh?" The news camera zoomed in on the boxes. "Ghost Kitchen Nightmare," the chyron would read on the 6 p.m. news. "Leo!" Carter turned on him. "You did this! You sabotaged the grease trap!" Leo looked at him calmly. "I'm just a brand ambassador, Carter. I don't touch the plumbing. I just smile for the website." The tablets on the wall started screeching. "Order cancelled. Order cancelled. Order canned." The platforms, Uber, DoorDash, had detected the failure to fulfill. Their algorithms automatically suspended the restaurant's account for critical operational failure. In 10 minutes, the digital empire Carter had built went dark. Every virtual brand showed as currently unavailable on the apps. By Monday morning, the video was everywhere. #GhostKitchenScam trended on TikTok. The footage of Carter screaming, "Cook through the sewage," was the nail in the coffin. Apex Food Ventures tried to spin it, but the damage was terminal. The health department fined them $250,000. The delivery apps permanently banned Sterling Capital addresses from their platforms due to fraud and safety violations. The landlord, seeing the news, invoked the morality clause in the lease to evict them. Carter was fired by his own board. He left the building carrying a box of his personal items, his Patagonia vest looking significantly less impressive. Leo stood on the sidewalk, watching the Apex sign being taken down. The kitchen was gutted. The equipment was being auctioned off. 1 year later, the building that used to be Rossi's was now a bank. Leo didn't get it back. He didn't want it back. It had bad ghosts. Instead, Leo walked 3 blocks south, a small storefront, only 10 tables, no delivery window, no tablets. The sign above the door was hand-painted, LEOs. Inside, the air smelled of fresh basil, simmering tomatoes, and roasting garlic. Sam was in the kitchen rolling fresh pasta by hand. Vinny was waiting tables. There was a line out the door. People weren't ordering from an app. They were waiting in the rain to sit down. A customer walked in. It was a young guy, looked like a tech bro. "Do you guys do DoorDash?" he asked. "I couldn't find you on the app." Leo walked out from the kitchen, wiping his hands on a clean white apron. "Huh, no apps," Leo smiled. "If you want to eat, you have to sit here. You have to smell the food. You have to talk to your friends." The kid looked confused. Then he looked at the steaming plate of carbonara on the next table. "Okay," the kid said, sitting down. "Table for 1. Leo went back to the kitchen. He picked up a pan. He didn't check a thermometer. He held his hand 3 inches above the metal. It was hot. It was real.